Are you too busy to prep healthy meals? Do you feel self-conscious about your body and your clothes not fitting right, but you don't have time to work out? Does your life feel unorganized and messy? Do you wish you had routines and habits that made health simple, even with your busy schedule? I know, I've been there. Hi, I'm Shannon Marquita, and no one ever really taught me how to eat healthy. I didn't know anything about nutrition, so I found myself eating whatever was easy, which definitely impacted my energy, weight, and focus. That's why I created this podcast, to show you that through healthy habits and time management, you can know you're doing health right. So stop scrolling social, clicking the ads, and buying all the things. Let's grab our Americano and pop in our AirPods. It's time to solve the real problem together. Welcome home. A fresh start awaits. Have you ever heard of people talk about the importance of a morning routine? Do you have one? Have you ever tried to get a hold of others thinking, if you just knew what they did every morning, it would be your saving grace? I have asked multiple people about their morning routine and even tried them myself. What I have found is that your morning routine needs to be your own. You can find tips in other people's, but your life isn't identical to theirs in goals or schedule. I'm going to share my morning routine today, but first I want to walk you through some steps to create your own to set yourself up for success so you can decrease stress, especially first thing in the morning, and increase both clarity and control because that will carry over into the rest of your day and tasks. Ultimately, the best thing you can do for your morning is to have a plan. Don't wake up in reactive mode, simply going from one thing to another, hoping you get everything done and you don't forget anything. That's extremely stressful, and it affects the rest of your day and how you do your activities. So today, I want to talk with you about the top time management tip for easier mornings. It's honestly probably not what you think. You need to start your day with intention and allow that focus and intentionality to continue throughout your day and tasks. Okay. Here we go. As you create your morning routine, the number one thing that I can suggest is do not check your phone first thing when you wake up. If you use an alarm clock, which I don't because I'm just not a fan. If you haven't listened to my episode about why I stopped using an alarm clock, and you can too, go ahead and listen to that because I just think it's life-changing. But on the days that you need to use an alarm clock, like maybe you have a doctor's appointment or the kids have something at school that they normally don't, or you're trying to catch a flight, there are reasons to use an alarm clock, and I myself do on those occasions as well. But just don't let it be your phone. My sound machine that I use has a built-in alarm that lets you change the color, the sound, the volume, as well as set a schedule. So on weekdays, if you want to wake up at a certain time and it's different than maybe on the weekends, you can do that. So I strongly suggest get creative, but don't let it be your phone. Because if it's your phone, it's too tempting, right? You know how to silence it while you're sleeping. At least I have figured that out without fully waking up. And it's tempting once you turn it off to then go ahead and check stuff. You have it already in your hand. It's unlocked. What's happening on social? Did you get any text messages? Did you miss a phone call? What's going on your calendar? What email came in while you were sleeping? And boom, the stress starts. You're in your day and you're not even out of bed. That is not a good idea. So number one, again, do not check your phone first thing when you wake up. And part of that is if/when you need to use an alarm clock, don't have it be your phone. Number two is don't linger in getting up. Start your day with intentionality. And a big piece of that is going to bed on time. It allows your body the rest and sleep that it needs. So if you're not going to bed on time, that's part of your challenge right now is once your body's asleep, resting, recharging, when it's time to wake up because your alarm went off, your body's not ready. You need more sleep. And that's something that you can control. Simply go to bed earlier. If you need help with your bedtime routine, listen to one of my previous episodes where I talk about different tips in order to help unwind when your brain won't turn off and to get better quality sleep. In another episode, I'll share my nightly bedtime routine, but today we're focusing on morning routine, so that'll be for another day. But part of waking up and starting your day with intentionality, I strongly suggest, I'm not sure if you've heard of Mel Robbins, but she has a book called The 5-Second Rule. So if you feel like you're getting enough sleep, but you're still struggling for some reason to just get up, then I definitely recommend this book for you. It is called The 5 Second Rule, and it, for me, just offered so much value. Personally, I enjoyed reading it on Audible, which I guess technically is listening, because Mel narrates it herself. So you get to hear her talk about her story, share some of her struggles and why, and how this rule was life-changing both in her mornings, but also in other instances and how it can serve you. So don't linger, get up, start your day with intentionality, and just go through the motions and the practices, because this isn't something that naturally comes easy to most. It does take focus, intentionality, and planning, but the outcome is so rewarding. So don't hesitate, give it a try. Listen to the 5 second rule for some extra motivation and encouragement. But the more that you plan and don't linger, it also allows you to have more time to not be so rushed and stressed in your schedule in the morning, because part of what's setting you behind is that when you linger getting up, you're losing time that you need elsewhere. And so if you can get up immediately when you're supposed to and not hit the snooze button or not turn it off and actually fall back asleep, you're allowing yourself to move at a healthier pace in your other steps of your morning routine. All right, number 3. Everyone has personal preferences and for different reasons. Mine is that I love ice cold drinks. So when you first wake up, it is extremely important to have something. Your body has been in fast mode. It's been fasting while you're sleeping. So it's thirsty for water and being hydrated, but doing this also helps to wake up your system. I personally love ice cold drinks in general, but ice cold water for me when I'm waking up, because my body is thirsty from having been asleep, there's something that is just so refreshing about having it nice and cold. So giving my body the water it needs at the temperature that it really enjoys is really pleasant and helps me wake up too. So I would encourage you, figure out what temperature you like, but when you first wake up, you need to have some water in order to fuel your body from its sleep and hydration, but also it helps wake you up. So for me, as my Americano is preparing, I have my ice cold water right there while I am waiting for it to be ready. And I also have some more water after I drink my Americano. And so for you, I don't care what temperature you have it, for whatever your reason is, but it is important when you first wake up to have some water in your body. Number 4 is quiet time. This can vary from person to person based on how your day looks and how much time you have, but I would suggest that 15 minutes should be your minimum. But quiet time allows you to start your day intentionally in a place of focus and peace. And so what I do is 15 minutes of quiet time. And you can read, you can journal, you can do both, but this is your time before you jump into the day, your agenda, along with everybody else's agenda, and just immediately get carried away by that pace. You are starting your day at a pace that allows you to continue to stay in a place of low stress, focus, and intentionality. And for me, I drink my Americano while I'm doing this. So I blend the steps in my routine to help keep them efficient, but ensure that I get it all done. After your quiet time is your shower and get ready portion of your morning routine. This is pretty straightforward. It's going to look different for everyone, but this is after you have done everything already. And then lastly is to eat something. Personally, I make a shake every morning to ensure my body is starting the day with the best possible nutrients. I choose a vegan version because although there is a whey option and I do like dairy, for me, the anti-inflammation piece is really important. It has protein, pre and probiotics. I add in some collagen and super greens. And then if I'm still hungry afterwards, I make some oatmeal. And what I love doing, which I don't know why, but when I talk about it with people, it seems to blow their mind. I put in some frozen berries and I mix it in because it helps cool down the oatmeal so I don't have to wait as long to eat it. And then I'll put some chia seeds in there, mix it all up, and that helps ensure that if I was still hungry, I'm now not going to be hungry for quite a while. So I hope this was helpful. And although morning routines vary depending on weekdays and weekends, the main point of all of this is that consistency is key and having a plan is key. And your morning routine is your own. So I'm going to share mine, and I'm sure that you have heard of pieces of other people's or what they do, and you just need to figure out what works for you. For me, I wake up, I let my pup out to go potty, I prepare my Americano, I drink my ice water while my Americano is getting ready. And then Buster usually goes back to sleep while I am doing my quiet time, which is my morning devotion. I love the YouVersion Bible app because you can search based on what you want your focus to be. Do you want to focus on incorporating worship and work? Are you feeling stressed maybe? Is it Christmas time? Is it a holiday? Like, you can search based on leadership. I mean, whatever your focus is, you can hop in there and find a devotion that's right for you. There's ones that might be 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, a month long. You just figure out what works for you. So that allows me to have my quiet time, Buster's sleeping, and then afterwards, I go ahead and hop in the shower, I get ready for the day, and then I start getting my things ready. And part of that is I prepare my shake that I mentioned earlier. Because what I found is as I'm driving to the office, drinking my shake sets me up for success. If I don't do that, which I didn't used to, I used to make it once I got to the office, I don't always drink it right away. You're in the day, you're hopping around from task to task, maybe meetings, and it starts to get warm. And so a lot of times I wouldn't finish it, or I'd have to make another one because I've started to feel wasteful. I don't like warm shakes, really usually warm drinks in general, unless it's coffee or tea. But that's personally what I found. You need to find what works for you. And then once I'm to the office, I've already had my water, my Americano, my quiet time. I'm ready for the day. I've had my shake, so I have something in my body. Then I sit down and I make a plan. I make a plan for my tasks and to-do lists, and then I just start. All of this is clear, simple, easy, and most importantly, intentional, which is exactly what I want for you. Use mine, use others as a guide, but be intentional and have a morning routine plan for yourself. It's so true when people say that those who fail to plan to fail. You want to own your day and your life, which means, yes, curveballs will happen, I promise you. But we need to be intentional because although curveballs happen and we're going to be flexible, having a plan helps us to get back on track faster. And curveballs aren't the norm. Those are the exception. So although they will happen, for the most part, our days have consistency, and so we need to plan our time. And that is going to help so much with time management, with stress, with clarity, with focus, all the things that I want for you, and I want this to be your normal. Hey there. If this podcast helped, challenged, or inspired you in some way, I would love it if you'd do me a huge favor and leave me a review over on Apple Podcasts. It helps me to hear from you and know how this is best serving you. And go ahead and screenshot this and share it in your stories. Tag me at Shannon Marquita. That's ShannonMarqueta. And send it over to a friend in a text who is ready for healthy changes in her life too. Let her know that this episode might serve her as well. I am just so grateful for you and would love to hear from you. Come hang out and let's connect over in my Facebook group, bit.ly.com/afreshstart, or send me a message. I look forward to seeing you back here in a few days.